I'm going to call this meeting to order at 6 p.m. It is Tuesday, March 10th, 2020. This is our business meeting. We are at our district building at 6500 57th Street, Vero Beach, 32967 for everyone that is watching via YouTube or channel 27. We'd like to thank you for tuning in tonight to our meeting. At this time, if you would please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance that will be led by our Sebastian River High School Navy Junior ROTC under the direction of Lieutenant Commander James Landis and Master Sergeant Michael Huzzy, retired. Students, we thank you. It's an honor to have you here tonight. Okay, board members, it's time for us to adopt the orders of the day. Are there any items that board members wish to move from consent to action? Sorry. If we could just make sure that our phones are silenced, that would be great. Any items?
No, ma'am.
I do want to talk about the coronavirus.
Okay.
It's on.
Do you want that under the superintendent, or do you want to do it while people are here?
I want to do it while people are here for corona.
Okay. Okay, we'll do that before we go into the presentations. Okay. All right, so I don't see any items, so I need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Mrs.
Second.
Berenborg, Dr. Schiff, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 5-0. At this time, we have presentations, but at the request of the superintendent, he would like to address the school district and our attendees on the coronavirus. Go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I will be brief, but I thought it was pertinent because there were items within the consent agenda regarding travel, both out of the state travel as well as travel within our state. So I wanted to take the time to provide a brief update to the board regarding the work that we've done regarding the coronavirus and the work that we will continue to do regarding the coronavirus. First and foremost, we start with education. As we are in, that is our work, that is our craft, ensuring that we're promoting good hygiene in our schools, washing our hands, using disinfectants in our schools, ensuring that we're using the appropriate procedures regarding coughing in our elbow. That is some of the work that we have been doing. We have had a proactive approach around the cleanliness of our schools, even prior to the coronavirus epidemic in the United States. We've always used chemical-grade disinfectants. We've had the opportunity to work with 2 different news stations regarding our machines that we use to disinfect our schools, the electric mister, the AVAC machine, as well as the ATP swab machines, which is an opportunity for us to test the environments, the surfaces, to ensure that they are disinfected. Those systems have been in place and have been enhanced over the last several weeks in order to ensure that our schools are as clean as they possibly can be. There is still work to be done. As a district, we are adhering to the CDC guidelines. We have the opportunity on a daily basis through our deputy superintendent, who works with Miranda Hawkert, who is our health administrator for our county, to receive updates. There are no cases in Indian River County, but yet we still prepare. So we've been doing a lot of work in terms of notifying our families, notifying our parents, notifying our staffs in order to ensure that we have a plan in place. One of the things that we've done is to be proactive early on, knowing that hand sanitizer, cleaning materials were going to run thin and almost be very hard to secure. We placed a bulk order early last week so that we had them available. Now they are very, very hard to get, but we have them in our warehouse and able to distribute to our principals and custodians upon request. We did issue today a guidelines for travel. So there are guidelines that we're adhering to issued by the CDC. We have 3 trips, 2 going out of state and 1 going to Tampa. This is a situation that changes by the moment. CDC has guidelines in place today. As the situation grows and progresses, those may change. They have identified 3 different areas, and they're calling them travel advisory levels. Level 3 is if a student or a faculty or a staff has been to Italy, China, South Korea, or Iran, that they, upon return, are self-quarantined for 14 days. If a alert 2, which is strongly suggested that they self-quarantine, would be from Japan. And then a watch 1 level would be Hong Kong. So we will continue to monitor, we will continue to evaluate the situation every day regarding travel. We want to stick to the CDC guidelines. We seek information on a daily basis in order to ensure that we're making the most informed decisions. But as you approve these items tonight, to be completely transparent, we will act in the best interest of our students, and we will ensure that they are protected and safe. So there may be an opportunity later in this week or early next week that I make the decision to cancel those trips. And that would be hard for me to do because I know how hard these students have worked to raise funds, to participate, how hard they've worked. Some of these are world championship competitions. One is a state thespian festival in which you have to earn the right to go to attend. So it would be hard. But to be on the safe side, it may be a decision in consulting with the CDC that we would have to make. We have plans in place regarding a possible closure, whether it be a short-term closure or an extended closure, and working with our staffs to ensure that we have devices in place if it's a long-term closure. We have 10,000 devices. We could put devices in 70% of our students' hands to take home, working on connectivity issues, working on the issuing of hotspots to ensure those who don't have connectivity would be provided that opportunity to be connected to the internet. In a short-term situation, we would work with the schools and the teachers, ensuring that our teachers are the authority over the grading situation and providing homework. We have Canvas as well, which is an opportunity for our teachers to connect to their students through the internet, using that service to provide feedback regarding lessons that are taking place. So it is a evolving process that we continue to work with and design a plan that is best for Indian River. And other counties are doing different things. We're at a conference call today with the Superintendent's Association, had opportunity to listen to information late last week, had the opportunity to participate in a call with the governor and all superintendents just to listen and learn from what other districts were doing. So when we evaluate where we currently are in comparison to other districts, we're satisfied with where we are. We have taken a collective approach, a team approach, ensuring that we're working with our principals so they have the resources and materials that they need to ensure that our schools are as clean as they can possibly be. Our community and staff and children are informed regarding if I feel sick, do I stay home? The answer is yes, you do. So it is an opportunity for us to continue to problem solve, continue to inform, and work through what is a national crisis at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. So at this time, if you would like to introduce Kristen for the presentations.
Thank you. And with that, it is my honor to acknowledge our Public Information Officer, Ms. Maddox, who will provide us with presentations.
Yes, board members, would you please join us in the audience? So tonight we have a very special group here, the Dodgertown Music Honors Group. Mr. T. Ron Parks is the director of this group. And if you were at the gala, you saw this group with their glowing gloves on, performing on stage. They're a fan favorite for sure, because they're always coming up with these really unique performances. So I was very excited when I received the email that we were indeed getting a unique performance tonight. Here to perform a very funky Christmas, because who doesn't need Christmas again in March, right? By Redenbacher's Funkestra. I didn't make that up. Mr. Park sent that to me. These students will be performing for you a rhythm routine using only basketballs. Dodgertown Music Honors, take it away. Parks, are you available for basketball coach? Any of the, right? Multi-talented teachers that we have? All right. So we have a video for you now that highlights Say Something Week. And how many of you saw posts on social media about Say Something Week? You're somewhat familiar with it. So as part of our Sandy Hook Promise, our middle schools and our high schools participated in Say Something Week, and they did an incredible job. Say Something Week is used to empower students with tools to feel confident and comfortable in reporting incidents relating to the safety of our students in schools and identifying trusted adults that they can go to in situations to report information. So this highlights the really good work of our district during this week, and we even have some tweets directly from the Sandy Hook Twitter page, the official page, recognizing our district included in the video, so enjoy.
As part of our Sandy Hook Promise, during the week of March 2nd through the 6th, our middle and high school students participated in Say Something Week. During this week, students participated in activities which empowered them with the information and tools to feel confident and comfortable in reporting incidents to trusted adults. Sebastian River Middle School students took the Say Something pledge during lunch.
Say Something Week is a week that's sponsored by the Sandy Hook Promise organization. Green is the theme for the Sandy Hook Promise. The students repeat the pledge that if there's something going on, you know who's in this school that you can talk to. And this is all to encourage the kids to prevent tragedies from happening on any school campus.
After they recited the pledge, they identified a trusted adult and painted their pinky green to remind them to always say something. At Storm Grove Middle School, students wrote proclamations stating the reason behind their decision to commit to say something.
Today is a great day because we've been visiting classrooms where students have shared their proclamation. One of the things that we focused on all week is being an upstander. We've had students that have shared things from violence to students being bullied, students being picked on, and why it's important for them to say something. We're excited to be a part of this with the district and hoping all of our students remember to say something.
Students and staff members at Vero Beach High School wore green for Say Something Week. Adults on campus added their signatures and pictures to signs posted in the cafeteria, letting students know that they are a trusted adult.
The Say Something Week campaign that we've been doing at Vero Beach High School and around the district this week is extremely important. Us and law enforcement and school resource officers on the campuses, we have a passion to keep the students and the faculty safe. It helps us complete our mission to keep the students and the faculty as safe as possible while they're at school.
Thank you to our students and schools who participated in Say Something Week. Your innovative activities and school participation captured the attention of the official Sandy Hook Promise page. Stay tuned in the fall when we continue fulfilling our Sandy Hook Promise and start with hello in our elementary schools.
So thank you to our Student Services Department for organizing Say Something Week. Dr. Sharon Packard and Dr. Kathy Parandozzi, they worked really hard to get everything organized and make this a success, including our middle school and our high school administrators and teachers and students who worked really, really hard. It was an awesome week for us in the SDIRC. So moving right along, we have a very important presentation tonight. It's always one of my favorites. It is our Veteran of the Month presentation. And once again, this month we are recognizing one of our own. If I may have Chris Volo please come to the front. So Chris is a member of our physical plant, and we are proud to have him here tonight. He served in the United States Navy from 1991 to 1993 and attended boot camp at Great Lakes, Illinois, and served aboard the USS Whidbey Island LSD-41. The ship was based out of Little Creek, Virginia. Chris was involved in the capture of a drug smuggling ship in the Mediterranean Sea, and his ship was part of the Gator Navy, an amphibious I knew I was going to stumble that one, amphibious warfare ship that was responsible for transporting Marines and Navy SEALs. During his service, Chris was a liaison between naval officers and foreign dignitaries, and his ship was the first naval vessel to visit the Black Sea since World War II. Chris is proud to be a United States Navy veteran, and we are proud to have him as part of our SCIRC family. Chris, thank you very much. Would you like to
No, no, okay.
Please let him go. All right, Chris, if we get a picture of the board members up front, please, for join us. The funny thing is that Chris is quite the talker when he's on the picture. He is. I was shocked when he wasn't prepared, actually. We would like to recognize our Casual for a Cause organization from January, the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, and I would like to ask Chrissy Nana, who is the campaign manager, to please come to the front. Our students and teachers and staff members worked very hard during this Casual for a Cause Day, where in exchange for dressing casually, they get to make a donation that goes toward the selected organization for that month. And we would like to present to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society $3,674.85. Would you like to say a few words?
So I just wanted to say thank you so much. It's been, such a pleasure working with this Indian River County School District. We have, our office, our local chapter covers all of Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast, and Indian River County has been one of our biggest supporters, and we're so, that's absolutely amazing. It's crazy to see what kids can do. Their power is incredible, and thank you so much for your support, and we'd love to continue our support with you guys too. Thank you.
That's surreal. We don't just give them the dry erase. Where is Miss Ataba Patterson? There she is. So we received some really good news last month that Ataba was one of 3 educators in the state of Florida to receive the Black History Month Excellence in Education Award. So the First Lady, Casey DeSantis, announced the Black History Month Student Contest winners and Excellence in Education Award recipients. This year's theme was celebrating untold stories and contributions of African Americans in Florida. And the winners were honored during the Black History Month award ceremony at the Florida Governor's Mansion. So Ataba, would you please come up? We are so proud of you. Would you like to share a few words?
Wow. To say that this honor is completely humbling is just, oh my God, it's beyond me. Visiting the Governor's Mansion, like a totally monumental moment, right? You can't replace that ever. But to be recognized tonight by the district. Again, a very honorable moment, and I am so appreciative of it. But the most humbling and the most rewarding for me tonight is to be able to represent my elementary school. At one point, we were the only F-rated elementary school in this district. And through fervent hard work and dedication, I am a mere representative of every single teacher, every staff member that is present there, giving it everything that they have. So by far, visiting the Governor's Mansion, being honored tonight, not to invalidate or to undermine or to belittle, but I tell you, because of what I see and what we do every day, to represent my elementary school and to be the face of the change that we so need to see in every single school worldwide, but also in this district, is absolutely amazing. So I appreciate your time. I appreciate you for listening. And again, thank you.
Board members, if you'd please return to the dais for the proclamation. So last but certainly not least, we would like to recognize National Medal of Honor Day, which is on March 25th. And the first Medals of Honor were awarded on March 25th, 1863, when Congress passed a resolution in 1990 establishing National Medal of Honor Day. March 25th became the official nationwide holiday honoring the medal and its recipients. Tonight, we have a very special person, Silver Star recipient and Vietnam veteran, U.S. Marine Sergeant Sylvester McIntosh. Dr. McIntosh, would you please join us at the podium for the proclamation? Thank you, sir.
As you age, you have to put on your extra eyes.
Yes, you do.
The proclamation recognizing March 25th, 2020 as Medal of Honor Day. Whereas throughout our country's history, courageous men and women of Indian River County, Florida, have answered the call to protect, defend justice, liberty, and the freedom we hold so precious. And whereas rising above the call of duty at the risk of grave injury and loss of life, a celebrated few of these fearless service members distinguished themselves as heroes in the eyes of their comrades through their bravery and self-sacrifice. And whereas in 1862, the United States Congress established the Medal of Honor as the highest award to be given to members of our country, military forces, in recognition of their incredible valor during armed conflict. And whereas in 1990, Congress designated March 25th annually as National Medal of Honor Day. And whereas to commemorate this day, public schools, officials, private organizations, and all Floridians are called upon to honor recipients of the Congressional Medal of Honor who distinguished themselves through their bravery and gallantry during wartime, while serving as members of the United States Armed Forces, and whereas public schools are encouraged to coordinate instruction at all grade levels, encouraging patriotism and commemorating Medal of Honor Day. And now, therefore, we, the School Board of Indian River County, do hereby recognize March 25th, 2020 as Medal of Honor Day and encourage all people in Indian River County to remember with honor and celebrate with respect the brave heroes who have earned this recognition through fearless self-sacrifice in defense of our country and the idea on which was founded. And now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the School Board of Indian River County, Florida, that March 25th, 2020 be recognized as Medal of Honor Day in Indian River County. Adopted this 10th day of March 2020, School Board of Indian River County, Florida.
Thank you. Board members, I need a motion for approval.
Move approval. Second.
Would you like to speak to your motion?
No, ma'am.
Would you like to speak to your motion?
Ma'am.
Any discussion? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
So be it.
5-0.
And Mrs. Zork asked me if I wanted to speak, and I passed it up, and I realized that I missed something, which was to acknowledge you for reading that proclamation, doing so articulately and so beautifully. Thank you for your contribution to that, for reading it and being here to represent that. Thank you.
And that concludes presentations for tonight. Thank you.
I asked anyone in the audience before we started at 6 if there was any public comment. I do not have any cards up here at this time, so we are going to, unless I'm missing one, I don't think so. What's that?
Is that a first?
Probably. So since I don't have anyone signed up for public comment, we're going to move on to the consent agenda. At this time, I need approval, a motion for the
make a motion.
consent. Mrs. Barrenborn,
I'll second.
Dr. Schiff. Mrs. Barrenborn, would you like to speak to your motion?
Yes, please. Thank you for making, Dr. Moore, thank you for making the comments you did about out-of-state field trips, because as you know, I was concerned about that. And I know that we're going to keep student safety foremost, and I know how hard it is the kids worked. I just want to say how disappointed I was that the state science fair was canceled, because those kids worked so hard to do something like that.
That's such a great point, Terry. Are we going to do anything to recognize maybe the students again, just because they didn't have the opportunity to go on? Just an idea.
Yeah, I think that would be appropriate. We need to do something like that. And also, I'd just like to say, you know, thank you for all those groups that worked so hard to put that together. And I know that the teachers involved have to do all that paperwork, so I hope it's not for naught.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Mrs. Rourke, may I make a Go ahead. I just want to thank Dr. Moore for his leadership with this issue. It is evolving, and as a school district, we know we need to be adaptable, and thank you for your strong leadership on this.
Any further discussion? Go ahead.
Mrs. Zork, I just wanted to say thank you. There are a lot of donations again, and we need to thank those groups that are donating consistently to our schools. There are many, so we appreciate it. I know the Ed Foundation has quite a few in there this month. So those of you that don't look at our agenda and don't look at those attachments, please do look at that because it really is nice to see how much money is being given to our schools in the right way. So thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead. Dr. Schiff, second. We typically do have on the consent agenda our approvals, our recommendations that the superintendent brings to us for new hires. I just want to say welcome. I typically don't, but I think it's something that that I want to start recognizing all our new hires. We thank you for choosing the School District of Indian River County, and our goal is to make it the greatest place to work here in Indian River County. So thank you for joining the team. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 5-0. Okay. We are going to move on to our action. One second. Okay, Dr. Moore. We have action. We are going to, we have a public hearing on revised policy number 5121, controlled open enrollment.
Thank you, Madam Chair. On January 28th, at the school board business meeting, the district school board voted to hold a public hearing on revised board policy and requested to move forward with the adoption process. The purpose of this policy is to be consistent with present practice and legislation. The public hearing and adoption was noticed for business meeting on March 10th, 2020.
Thank you. This item deals with public hearing on revised policy number 5121. Dr. Moore, have you documented that the public hearing was properly advertised in accordance with the state statutes?
Through the chair, yes.
Okay. We now recess this meeting to conduct the public hearing as advertised. The public hearing is now in session. Dr. Moore, are there any written responses to the advertised public hearing at this time?
No, ma'am.
The public is invited to address this issue at this time. Is there any individual representing an organization or his or her own personal or public interest who wishes to speak? Okay. The chair concludes that the announced public hearing on the public hearing of the revised policy number 5121 has been conducted pursuant to notice, and the ample opportunity to address this issue has been provided to all. The board meeting is reconvened at this time, and I need a motion for approval.
Move approval.
I'll second.
Mrs. Justice?
As a parent, it's important for our children, I feel it's important for our children to have ownership over their education, and giving parents and students choice and where they go to school is one of those ways to do that. So I'm excited that we continue to expand the opportunities for our students across the district, and I look forward to more opportunities to do that in the future.
Thank you. Mrs. Rosario?
I ditto the sentiments of Mrs. Justice. There probably isn't anyone more as an advocate for school choice as myself. As many know, I homeschool my son, and I proudly serve as school board to represent public education here in Indian River County as well. So I am fully in support of school choice, and I look forward to what is coming up. We see lines of principals, because this is exactly, this is exactly why, or one of the reasons why I'm so excited about this, because we're going to soon hear, and I'm sure I don't want to take Dr. Moore's thunder, but we're going to hear some really great innovative programs that either are currently happening and are being beefed up, essentially, or are going to be new in our schools, that will be, I suppose, expoed at our choice fair on Saturday, this coming Saturday. So I'm excited, and I'm thankful for this opportunity, for this policy change, and I'm very happy to be supporting it.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, Dr. Moore, can you reference the depot stops that are in this policy change? Just how will parents find out about that?
Through the chair, I'm going to address that in the presentation to
Okay.
follow.
Thank you. And I see we're lining up in alphabetical order.
All right. Any other, Dr. Shah?
No, I'm just excited to hear what they're all going to say. I can't wait. I'm really excited.
Give me 3 key points of what this means to our school district, Dr. Moore.
Through the chair, it provides parents and students the opportunity to define define the school that best fits their need versus because I live in X neighborhood, I'm required to go to X school. One size fits none. This is an opportunity for us to evaluate what is current across America. How do we need to prepare our students for the 21st century? How do we design educational spaces that ensure when every student walks into our buildings, they leave prepared, ready to address the new 21st century learning requirements. So this is an opportunity really to put great things in the hands of our students.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm excited about hearing about the great things that we're already doing and the new re-envisioning that each of you have to bring to us. And I'm just, as a parent, I know that like Dr. Moore says, one size fits none. And I appreciate the principals and the assistant principals and all the teachers and staff for jumping on board with this vision. And I appreciate your time and coming up here tonight and presenting to us.
I want to acknowledge, to the best of my knowledge, I could be wrong from those who have been here longer than I, but we have never done something like this before. And not only have we never done it, and it is a radical departure from what we've done in the past, but you did it in like 20 days, or however long you've been here, really demonstrating leadership and ownership in this district in a way that really demonstrates we're heading into a new era. And I want to acknowledge that not just under your leadership, but under the capacity that I can't wait to hear from all of you on the opportunity to be creative and how we really are going to elevate both choice and responsibility and accessibility and programming in this district. So thank you, and I think it really does start to herald in a new era in this district. So thank you for that.
So we're all excited about this, but we have to vote to approve this policy. So all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 5-0. Dr. Moore?
Through the chair, now, I assume that we're on presentations.
We're on to the
correct?
superintendent report.
Okay. Thank you, board members. This is an exciting day. This, to me, is the transition from listening and learning to action and implementation. One of the first charges I gave principals was for them to work with their staffs to evaluate their current reality and be the authors of what takes place in their school, along with their teachers. To dig in with their staffs, evaluate what is unique, what is creative, what sets them aside from other schools in this district. And when we speak of leadership, the reality is transformation happens when you have world-class educational leaders. Transformation will happen in this district because of the people who stand against that wall right now. You want a district to move forward, have the absolute best principals. And I have to thank the principals for all the crazy things that I've asked them to do and the amount of change that they've been exposed to over the last 2 months. They have stood strong. They have spoken up, they have listened, and they have responded, and I am very encouraged based on their leadership. So as we present this choice item today, this is an opportunity for us as a district under your leadership to expand the choice options by 957 choice seats in this district. That is significant. That is the action that this board took, and as a result, we're providing that level of choice within our district. Being bold and being courageous, we've decided not only we're going to open up the opportunity for choice, but provide transportation by expanding and filling our depot stations that we currently have. We have depot stations to our magnet schools, but why not to choice schools? Why not ensure that we fill those buses and add stops or add routes if that need be the case? So as the choice window opens and parents select to go to choice school, we will circle back and work with parents to expand and maximize the opportunity to provide transportation to those schools through our depot design. So a depot in its simplest form is being dropped off in a particular area within the neighborhood and then transporting the students to their new school of choice that is there for them. So as we went through this opportunity and how to present this item, I thought it would be much more powerful, much more impactful to hear it from the authors themselves. The ones who have led this work, the ones who have circled back with their staffs, the ones who have pushed them to think differently regarding the reality at their school. And in some cases, yeah, I'm pushing you beyond your comfort zone. But as I said, and as I know, the success of this district is dependent upon principal leadership. The ability to make decisions as close to kids as possible. Transformation isn't going to happen in this district office. Transformation is going to happen in your office. Transformation is going to happen in your hallways, in your classrooms, during your common planning sessions that you lead. My investment in you is the success of this district, and I am so happy with the work that you have done, and I'm so happy for you to come and share the progress that you've made over the last 2 months with your schools of choice. So I have challenged them, board, to be creative, to have fun with it. I'm surprised no one's in a costume. But I'll take it.
Mr. Faust.
Okay.
I knew it.
That was Ms. Dampierre's fault. I am super excited to present our first school. Principals, just to set this up, we will run through the presentation. This is their 45-second elevator spiel that they're going to give to you and the community. I will close by reinforcing where our choice fair is going to be and where you can gain additional information regarding the opportunity to attend one of these outstanding choice schools. Here we go, Beachland.
Do we have the timer?
Good evening. I am Rachel Finnegan, principal of Beachland Elementary Esteemed School of Enrichment. Through science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics, our school team works with all students to ensure they are receiving a hands-on, innovative learning experience through daily lessons, activities, tasks, and in our after-school clubs, building upon gardening, robotics, and coding. As students ride the wave of success, they are expected to be warm-hearted, active and attentive, vigilant, and enthusiastic for learning. Riding this wave allows them to have learning experiences in our hydroponic garden, outdoor classrooms, and learning studies with our community partners, including the Vero Beach Art Museum and Riverside Theater. Students are also developing 21st century skills through Project Lead the Way, with design thinking mindsets through compelling activities, projects, and problems through standards-based instruction. Students are exploring and relating to real-world applications. We welcome all students to ride the wave of success with us at Beachland Elementary. Fins up. Thank you.
Now you can go into labor.
Kimberly Garcia, Citrus Elementary. At Citrus Elementary, we believe in cultivating caring, compassionate leaders of tomorrow by being a community outreach school. It is our desire to become stronger together by doing best by kids. This is done through community partnerships and field trips, so students have hands-on experiences to solve problems and act with local companies such as Harbor Branch and Vero Beach Museum of Art. It's done through community outreach programs where students will work on a cause bigger than themselves and feel like they can change the world with organizations such as the Humane Society and ARC. It's done through the Genius Hour community project where interdisciplinary, intergrade level monthly groups will cultivate students' passions. Ideas include the garden club, robotics, and screen printing. And it's also done through expanding our existing programs, including Autobahn, as well as our peer and staff mentorship. It is so important in this day and age to teach kindness, a sense of community, and it is the overwhelming desire of our staff to be the school that cares about each other each and every day. We are hoping at Citrus that everyone feels like they belong.
Good evening. I am Aretha Vernette, proud principal of Dodgertown Elementary. And before I get started, I just wanted to thank my amazing staff, faculty and staff at Dodgertown. Dr. Moore mentioned world-class leaders. At Dodgertown, we believe we have world-class staff members supporting students, and I just wanted to acknowledge them. We are proud to offer STEAM opportunities as well as a community partnership school opportunity for our students and families. With the STEAM program, we want to offer enrichment opportunities for our students to engage in multidisciplinary studies in the areas of science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics. We want these opportunities to be engaging, hands-on, and minds-on opportunities so that our students can think critically, in additional areas such as coding and robotics, and have a personalized curriculum which will allow them to apply their knowledge to real-world situations. Through the Community Partnership School, we are proud to bring on partnerships with our core partners, starting with the School District of Indian River County, the Children's Home Society of Florida, Indian River State College, and the Treasure Coast Community Health Center. We've always enjoyed local partnerships with a variety of agencies that are dedicated and committed to support the students of Dodgertown Elementary. With this new partnership, we're able to offer wraparound services to our students and families that will actually reduce or eliminate barriers that may impede academic pursuits. So with these partnerships, the administrators at Dodgertown and the leadership team, and I have a great assistant principal. I want to give a shout out to Kristen Racine, and I could not do this work without her and my leadership team. And we're able now, even though we're beginning to start the partnership and some of the foundational steps to get it going, and I want to acknowledge Mershawn Green as well, our new director of our Community Partnership School. With this partnership, we are able to focus on academics and less of the other distractions or challenges that our students may have. We invite everyone to choose Dodgertown, and we say, bring your A game.
Oh, nice.
Buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
Soy el señor Ramón Echeverría, el director de la Escuela Primaria de Felsmer. ¿Cómo están?
Bien, gracias.
Me alegro que hablan un poco de español. Muy bien, gracias. I don't know if you have heard the old advice. Boys and girls, when I was growing up, my parents used to say to me, finish your dinner. People in China and India are starving. The new advice is, boys and girls, work hard and smart. People in China and India are starving for your jobs. And that is why Felsmer vision is to develop biliterate students by using a dual language approach. Kids capable to read, write, and speak about this slide in English or in Spanish. Kids no longer saying, I took Spanish in high school. So what? A kid more prepared to compete locally, nationally, and globally with the best that this district could equip a student with. And at Felsmer, you will multiply that education with the richness of 2 cultures and 2 languages. We are competing against China and India and the world. The challenge is real. How hungry are you? Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I did want to wear my onesie, but I was voted out of it, so. I'm Adam Faust, the principal of Glendale Elementary School, obviously the tallest one here. Before I start, though, I would like to thank Michelle Benak back there, the assistant principal. She does more stuff for more kids and families than anyone I know, so could we give her a round of applause? Be responsible, do your best, and always remember to
Help the rest.
Glendale Elementary School prides itself on being a place where everybody knows your name, and we're always glad you came. We are excited to steam into the 21st century, connecting real-life science from our own backyard. Partnering with the Audubon Society, Harbor Branch, the Environmental Learning Center, and the Vero Beach Museum of Art, we will be transforming Glendale Elementary School into a STEAM school of excellence. The Center for Innovation, our 21st Century Media Center, is the nucleus of our school, connecting students to robotics, engineering, and the arts. We are growing tomorrow's leaders today, and we invite you to come visit our campus and feel the excitement as we continue building a school that everyone can be proud of. And we invite you to come join the family. And one of the exciting things that happened just today is our school advisory council voted to approve money for a therapy dog. So we're going to be moving forward and layering that in to follow Citrus along with that. So thank you for your support.
Thank you.
Whose glasses were they, yours or his?
Well, they were his, but I went on his motto, to help the rest.
Nice.
We were practicing that. First of all, I do want to say my name is Diane Fannin. I'm the proud principal of Indian River Academy, home of the Bears. But I'm not going to growl at Dr. Moore and get a picture. I also do want to start with saying we did have a perfect budget. So we are the one school that did that. So I did want to bring that out. And Miss Liz is over there somewhere. And one more accolade we have to share is our school was the cleanest school for the entire first semester. So our custodians are very proud of that. So what are we? Indian River Academy, we practice conscious discipline. And conscious discipline is a proven, comprehensive approach that empowers students with skills that create a safe, connected, problem-solving environment. Within this school family model, scholars are provided with the optimal environment to develop academic skills, to become lifelong learners, establish a framework of personal ethics that values standing up for what is right and treating others with respect, and contribute to a better world as global citizens by applying our learning to our community and society. This school family is built on a healthy family model, the goal of which is the optimal development of all members. Thank you.
Thank you. I feel like a pep rally here. This is nice.
I'm Rachel Morey, principal of Pelican Island. At Pelican Island Elementary, we believe that Earth Day is every day, and we set up our learning environment in a way that expands beyond the pages of a textbook, beyond the four corners of a classroom, and beyond the outskirts of the protected nature preserve on which our school is set. We invite you to visit so you can see firsthand how our Pelicans learn through an engaging, solution-oriented approach to issues impacting our community and environment. By the time our kindergartners leave 5th grade, they've been exposed to gardening, composting, life cycles, recycling, sustainability, and conservation in a way that not only makes them experts, but true advocates for environmental science, impacting our schools, our local community, and our world.
Nice.
Good afternoon. I am Mrs. Hart, the proud principal of the new Sebastian Elementary School Fine Arts Academy K through 5. The mission of Sebastian Elementary Fine Arts Academy is to expose K through 5 grade students to the arts in a safe, nurturing, and engaging learning environment. We plan to channel their unique skills and talents through an integrated academic and arts program. We would be honored to be given the opportunity to prepare students for lifelong success, where students will be given a personalized learning experience focused on literacy and math development while enjoying an incorporation of the fine arts. Students will also enjoy a variety of different enrichment courses, including music, art, theater, and dance, my favorite. Students will be making a commitment to learning and a desire to expand his or her knowledge artistically and academically. We recognize that every student is unique in his or her strengths and challenges. The use of student portfolios will allow students to set individual goals and track their progress. Opportunities to explore various fine arts interests and participate in clubs and activities will prepare our students for the middle and high school fine arts programs. In the words of my favorite, Michelle Obama, arts education isn't something we add on after we've achieved other priorities like raising test scores and getting kids into college. Is actually critical for achieving these priorities in the first place. We invite you to visit us at The Nest, where we are nurturing and educating students for tomorrow through the arts. I do have a brochure for you.
Thank you.
Smart. Awesome program. I love it.
Can
You can
dance?
sing.
You can
I
dance.
I didn't dance. Awesome.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
I am Liz Tatro, the very proud principal of Treasure Coast Elementary School, and I'm excited to share with you our vision. Our vision is to have a school where our kids are free to dream, explore, and innovate, and to explore their unique talents and gifts and interests through STEAM education. Integrated curriculum that's planned for and deliberate. So when we say integrated, we mean that our science lessons and math lessons go hand in hand. Our English language arts lessons go hand in hand with our social studies and science lessons. And we create opportunities for students to think outside of the box, hands-on learning, and really get the opportunity to discover the interests and the joy in the world around them. I invite each of you to come and join us on this journey. You're welcome to come to Treasure Coast Elementary School and be a part of it all. We're very excited. And I want to take a moment to thank a couple of people. I want to thank Ms. Esposito, my assistant principal, who has done an outstanding job. And I also want to take a moment to thank Mrs. Basura, because Mrs. Basura played a huge role in making sure that we had all of the contents and all of our dreams and beliefs in our PowerPoint presentations. And without her assistance, we really were struggling a bit with getting our thoughts concise enough to present to you this evening. So thank you, Mrs. Basura. Really appreciate you. We're looking forward to this weekend's Choice Fair. I hope to see you all there. We've got a lot of exciting opportunities during the fair for you to get to learn more about our initiative. Thank you.
Thank you. VBE.
Hi, I'm Cindy Emerson. I'm the proud principal and lead learner at Vero Beach Elementary. When I say VBE, you say gold. VBE. Gold. VBE. Gold. Because we are setting the standard as a gold model project-based learning school at Vero Beach Elementary. We are very proud to announce that we're taking our 2-year academy that has been research-based and has proven great results and expanding it across our entire school. So our kindergartners will be participating in aeroponic gardening. Our first graders have been learning about African American community heroes and presenting. And this expands all the way through 5th grade for our students here at VBE. I invite everyone to come on out and see how we are taking it to the gold standard, not just in our project-based learning, but also with our positive behavior support program. We are one of the only schools in the county that's an elementary school recognized by Florida Positive Behavior Support for a major decline that we've had in our discipline. I also wanted you to come on out and see how we slide into innovation with our science, literacy, inquiry, design, and engineering. This is not just talking points. This is the reality of the education that we have going through our classrooms. It's standardized, it's rigorous, and we are going for the gold. So join us at VBE and see how your vibe attracts your tribe.
Gifford Middle.
First Middle School. Us middle school people, we follow directions, so ours will be much shorter. All right, here we go. My name is Tasha Jones. I'm the proud principal of Gifford Middle School, and we are very proud to acknowledge first that we are a historical educational landmark. This may not be critical to our current curriculum. However, it is always relevant to our families and our community that Gifford Middle School has a rich history as a premier educational site that has served our community very well. We have decided to become a STEAM school, and our focus will be on marine science and robotics. With our proximity to so many sources of water, this is a wonderful opportunity for the students and staff at Gifford Middle School to really swim with the dolphins. We have established a relationship with the Ocean Research and Conservation Association, ORCA, with programs such as Lagoon Guardians and A Day in the Life of the Indian River Lagoon. And we wanted to expand this opportunity to all of our students and staff at Gifford Middle School. And for those that like to remain on land, we have incorporated a comprehensive robotics program that will be hands-on and interactive, giving students the opportunity to think outside of the box and tackle real-world problems through the use of robotics. And if you would like to see some of this in action on Saturday at the Expo, we will have hands-on displays and opportunities for students and families to engage in the activities that we plan on incorporating into our curriculum at Gifford Middle School. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. I am Beth Hofer, and I am the Wildcat Pride Leader at Oslo Middle. At Oslo Middle School, we are a college pre-AP school where your child's ideas and interests matter, and we believe in blue. Believing in blue means that we build positive relationships, we stay learning-centered, we understand each other's needs, and we excel through rigor, technology, and kindness. Our design thinking launch approach, which we are now launching at Oslo Middle, actually connects the careers of tomorrow with the Wildcats' needs and interests today. So come out and see our 40 digital classrooms, admire our amazing artists, hear and listen to our award-winning 110-member band, 100-member orchestra, or be serenaded by our singing Wildcats. You can also monitor the weather on our National Weather STEM station right here at Oslo Middle. You can be a champion Oslo Middle School athlete, or you can join academic games, National Junior Honor Society, Student Council, Book Club, and Students Who Code, all sponsored by the most diverse, highly qualified instructional staff in the district. So if you'd like to experience the why, call for a tour, come and visit, because Oslo stands for Outstanding Student Learning Opportunity. Why go anywhere else? Thank you.
All right, Sebastian.
Good evening. My name is Todd Racine, principal at Sebastian River Middle School.
and I stand here tonight representing all of our students, faculty, staff, parents, and the Sebastian River community to share with you our initiative. Why SRMS? Because SRMS its success is not just one program, team, or club that sets us apart. It's the synchronicity of all the parts working together to create an exciting, meaningful, and rewarding middle school experience. We are a diverse school of over 900 students in grades 6 through 8 using the instructional frameworks of the International Baccalaureate Middle Years Program. MYP is an interdisciplinary approach which focuses on the whole child as a global citizen. The aim of IB is to develop minded people who, recognizing their common humanity and shared guardianship of the planet, help to create a better and more peaceful world. Research shows that MYP students build confidence in managing their own learning, learn by doing, connecting the classroom to a larger world, thrive in positive school cultures where they are engaged and motivated to excel. By combining the arts, technology, and social-emotional learning, we ensure all students have access to an environment that supports developing the whole child. After-school clubs, band, choir, 11 athletic teams, the only all-boys choir in Indian River County, and the first middle school drum line are some of the outstanding activities we've created and we offer. SRMS ensures that all students are well prepared when making the transition to high school, whichever high school that may be. I invite you to come take a walk at Cowboy Country. Thank you.
Wow. All right, Storm Grove.
It's like they're competing with each other.
Good evening. I am Ann Bieber, principal at Storm Grove Middle School. And Storm Grove's faculty wanted to take a look at what we have been so successful with and expand on that to all students. Storm Grove Middle School is moving towards a STEAM school focused on the environment and the arts. While STEAM is science, technology, engineering, arts, and math, we wanted to focus on the whole student. So we created a play on words with STEAM in our new logo that includes social skills, teamwork, environment, accountable, and mindful. We're taking a project-based approach where students will work collaboratively on a project based on the environment. We also work with the Lagoon Guardians, and being in Indian River County, it's such a perfect opportunity to include the environment in everything we do. Students will incorporate whichever art they find their strength, whether band, orchestra, drama, chorus, speech, marketing, or traditional art. Students will be able to express themselves in their work. We are preparing students for high school, but beyond that, to be able to work collaboratively, to be mindful, and environmental global citizens. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Sebastian River High.
Good evening, Superintendent Moore and board members. My name is Daryl Brown, principal of Sebastian River High School, home of the Sharks. Although sharks normally don't swim in rivers, we run with it anyway. So anyways, before I get started, I'd like to acknowledge my team here tonight, donned in blue. Without them, I couldn't get the job done. So appreciate you folks on the day-to-day things that you do for Sebastian River High School and our students. All right, Sebastian River High School is dedicated to excellence in providing the best quality education to serve all students of all diverse populations. We are focused in the area of college preparedness and career readiness programs in our small learning communities for grades 9 through 12. The belief that all children can learn gives us the extraordinary ability each day to provide a variety of academic and career choices, such as our International Baccalaureate program, which provides our students with a world-class education to enter an Ivy League school or any major university or college around the world. We also offer advanced courses in honors, dual enrollment, and advanced placement for any student who would like to attend a college or university after high school. Next year, Sebastian River High School will offer 2 brand new career tech programs in the area of aerospace technology and applied cybersecurity, which will give our students an industry certification in a fast-growing and competitive career field in the future. And finally, we are tremendously excited about being in our 2nd year of our Navy Junior ROTC drone program, which is attracting many students who are interested in keeping our country and our citizens safe from harm. We welcome you to Shark Nation, where you can't hide that shark pride.
Wow. Last but not least, oh, what was, uh-oh. Security.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Principal Sean O'Keefe of Vero Beach High School. And go Vero, go Vero, go Vero, go. Thank you. Now, I suppose there's much more. I can fit it all into 45 seconds here. At Vero Beach High School, we provide students with an experiential education that excites, engages, and enriches through unique, hands-on, real-world learning. Vero Beach High School is stimulating young minds. We are promoting STEAM through a variety of coursework, as well as through various college and career pathways. At Vero Beach High School, career and technical education programs are committed to preparing and growing our students for success with technical skills, as well as instilling the ideals of professionalism, leadership, and service. Our students are provided career and technical pathways relevant to changing industry demands. Our Advanced Scholar and Collegiate Academy is available to everyone with the desire and drive to pursue advanced academics and post-secondary education early on. If your student enjoys engaging in problem solving, utilizing the design process, analytical thinking, creativity, and collaboration, then our ASCA will be a fit as a premier academy of choice with abundant College Board advanced placement courses and plentiful dual enrollment options available. Vero Beach High School has a kaleidoscope of opportunities and pathways for your student to choose from, turning their dreams into college and career realities.
Wow. Thank you.
Board members, community, this Saturday you have the opportunity to continue to learn regarding the programming and choice we as a community, we as a district offer our children and our parents. This Saturday, IG Center, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., Career Expo. I would encourage every member of the community to come out and see the hard work that these principals have been leading. The Design Thinking School, Dual Language, School of the Arts in a K-5 school, stimulating programming. Stimulating programming. Environmental science. Some new initiatives, some recreated initiatives, some good programming that has been expanded on. I know when you have good principals who are willing to do the difficult and complex work of leading under a clear expectation set by them, supported by us, we can, in fact, create the nation's best school system. So today, for the first time, I feel what it is like to be a proud superintendent based on the presentations of these principals. So I close with this, and I turn it back over to you, Madam Chair. This is just the beginning. When you create an environment where you're continuously evaluating, reflecting, and defining opportunities to improve, we will continue to recreate ourselves. We will continue to enhance the program offerings. So what we propose today is chapter 1 of what will be a great story that we tell for the next several years. We're not done by any means. We have great plans. We continue to create, we continue to design, and we continue to ensure in this county, under your leadership, we are the nation's best school system. With that, Madam Chair, this is the item. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you.
Can I just say,
Go ahead.
best board night ever.
Yeah.
This was the most fun I've had at a board meeting in a year and a half, just saying.
May I, Madam Chair?
Go ahead.
This was so wonderful. I'm so excited I feel like I'm coming out of myself because this is so much fun. It was almost like you were all competing with each other, and yet you were all so
They
unique.
are.
Maybe you'll end up deciding to choose a different school, just choose a school.
You never know.
Yeah, there you go.
So I am just really, and I know that you all are doing really hard work in your schools. I hope that you're all sending invitations to your entire school families to come out and support you in this. But I also hope, Dr. Moore, we've talked about the STEAM Fest. This was something that many schools participated in last year with Vero Beach Academy, I think it is. And it's IndianRiverSteamFest.com. I hope that those of you who are STEAM schools are going to participate again. And even if you're not a STEAM school, it would be wonderful to have them participate nonetheless with whatever it is that you have to present. If you're a project-based school, you would fit right in with that. It would be wonderful to have you all, I suppose you can create something or have your groups create something for presentation. So I'm excited. I can't wait for Saturday. I'm going to be there cheering you all on, and go Vero. What was it? Vero. Go Vero.
Okay.
Go Sharks. Shark Nation.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
Okay, Mrs. Berenborg, you gotta excuse her, Mr. Brown.
Yeah, first
Shark
of all,
Nation.
you're an advocate, don't worry. We're not forgetting Sebastian, just saying.
We're all
She's own Sebastian.
Indian River.
Go ahead.
First of all, I'd like to thank all of you for coming to a board meeting. I know it's painful sometimes. You've been working really hard all day, and to come out here and give your time at night, we appreciate it. It's so nice to have you here. Come more often. Maybe we'll behave better. Maybe not. I'd just like to say, you know, a couple of things kind of hit me. I was taking notes, as I usually do. You know, dual language, conscious discipline, fine arts, project-based learning, IB, pre-AP, AP, career readiness, and 12 STEAM different, you know, schools, which I was really excited about, I gotta admit. What a great choice. We finally have school choice for kids. With the fact that we're gonna have depots, bus depots, we truly now are moving to choice versus saying that you have choice. If you can transport your kid, yeah, you have choice. But now I think we're going to actually open that up for a bunch of kids, and I'm excited about that. And I think kids will finally, not finally, but I think kids will say, wow, it's really stimulating to come to school.
Stimulating.
So,
Is that like automagically? Are we creating a new word again?
Oh,
Because
automagically,
I don't love
I know.
automagically.
I stole
sorry.
that word from St. Lucie, automagically.
Ginormous.
But stimulating, that was awesome, I love it. Big, huge letters there. So I just think it's gonna be exciting for kids to see the passion that you just brought forward and continue that passion in your schools. I know the kids are gonna just feed off that passion because they feed off the adults that are in the school. So thank you.
Thank you. Mrs.
Yes,
Justice.
thank you. I just want to thank all the principals and staff that came out tonight to speak. I see this as an opportunity not only for students to explore new schools, but to fall in love with their own school again.
Yeah.
I think that I reflect back on a moment. I was here working, and I came out into the lobby, and there was a family that was signing up for school. And I know, where's Diane? There she is. She's going to remember this story. And there was a principals meeting going on in this room. And I was just chatting with the mom. I keep markers and some crayons and coloring books in my office because we don't really have a lot for kids to do. And I brought them out a coloring book, and we were chatting. And she said, "What?" I said, "What?" You know, she said, "I'm applying for choice." And I said, "Okay, great. You know, that's an option." I said, "Where are you zoned for?" And she said, "Indian River Academy, but I've heard really bad things about the school. And everybody tells me that my kids shouldn't go to that school." And I said, "Wow, really? Because I've visited, and I think it's a great school. I have kids in school. If I was zoned there, I'd send them there. Have you been there? Have you met the principal?" And she said, "No, I haven't." And so I came in and I grabbed Diane and I said, "Hey, there's a parent outside who is zoned for your school, and they're not really sure what they want to do. And do you want to just come and just introduce yourself?" And she did. And that student ended up attending her school after a tour with the parent and has been successful at Indian River Academy. So I think that sometimes schools or in this community have had a stigma around them. I think about Vero Beach Elementary and some of the different challenges that the leadership team at that school has had to address and overcome. And some of it is real, and some of it is perceived. And so I just think it's a great opportunity for everyone to be able to share what's so wonderful about their school and makes them unique. And I'm excited for the opportunity for our students and families. So thank you very much for tonight.
Thank you. I want to say thank you to each principal and assistant principal, counselor, teacher, and support staff member that is in this room. I'm going to have to say, in my 3.5 years on the board, this is the first time that I can remember having all our principals and APs at our meeting. So I want to say thank you for being here tonight. Another thing is, after the presentations were over and Dr. Moore was speaking about how he knows what it feels like to be a proud superintendent, I just can't tell you how excited and how proud I am of each and every one of you. And as a board member, your vision for your school, I'm excited about that, and I'm going to give it 100% as your board member to stand behind your vision, and that's what I'm here for, because I believe in it that much. So I thank you for all the energy and time that you put into this, and I know that our students and our parents will love what you have to offer them this Saturday, so thank you for that.
So I'd like to conclude this item with a Kristen Maddox production. We have a short video highlighting some of the work our principals have done.
Join us at our School Choice Expo at the Indian River County IG Center on Saturday, March 14th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Explore the unique opportunities and programs that all of our SDIRC traditional public schools have to offer. Ask questions, meet face-to-face with principals and administrators, and make your choice for your students' future. Student assignment will be available to assist with filling out school choice applications that you could submit while you're at the expo. Transportation is available for families to and from the IG Center from 4 different school locations in our county. There will be 2 buses at each school location, leaving the school at 9 a.m. and returning to the school at 1:30 p.m. For more information, call our student assignment office or visit our website at www.indianriverschools.org. Here's a snapshot of each of our schools and their exciting areas of focus.
We will be pushing that video out on social media, placing it on our webpage. We also have an additional video that kind of tells a deeper story, looking into 3 schools and their process, why they created or how they define their academies and how they're creating them moving forward. So those will be 2 opportunities really to connect and get a deeper understanding of the work that we're doing as we redesign and build an innovative school district. So with that, done with this presentation, on to update of the 90-day plan. I will also begin this with a short video presentation to set up this presentation.
Uh-oh, can't hear it.
I'm going to die. Hello, my name is David Moore, new superintendent for the School District of Indian River County. I began my superintendency on December 20th, 2019. With a number of goals and aspirations that I wanted to accomplish as superintendent, I began to implement a new 90-day plan. Even before assuming the responsibilities of superintendent, I conducted an opportunity tour which allowed me to visit and meet all principals at their school sites. I created opportunities to gain a deep understanding of the school district of Indian River County from a multitude of stakeholders and gained insight into all aspects of the district. I've had the opportunity to share my vision and passion for public education. In order to truly connect with our stakeholders, I conducted meetings in our community. As a community, we celebrated public education at our Stars of the Year Gala. I had a wonderful time participating in my first Tunnel of Hope at Vero Beach Elementary School. I was truly inspired to see the community come together and have such a positive impact on the students at Vero Beach Elementary School. This is only the beginning. As a result of what we have learned over the last several months, we now have the opportunity to engage in dialogue with our school board and community leaders in the development of a new strategic plan that ensures that the Indian River School District is always best by kids. All right, first time I saw that. I have some feedback, Ms. Maddox. This is an opportunity to share what we have listened to and how we have learned. As I said at the beginning of this meeting, this is an opportunity to transition from that listening and learning and begin the creation and define the action that will move us forward as a school district. So to take you back, I began with a 90-day plan and identified a number of goals even prior to being hired. The first goal was to build a productive and collaborative relationship with the Indian River School Board. Continue to build upon the momentum established by the board and Dr. Moxley to ensure a seamless transition and develop more robust learning outcomes for all children. Create opportunities to gain a deeper understanding of the Indian River School District from a multitude of stakeholders and gain insight of all key aspects of the district. Develop a thriving community that is informed, engaged, and empowered to maximize the strength and vitality of its public schools, some of which you saw this evening. Build an energized, excited Indian River family that feels heard, valued, respected as we collaborate, engage in needed change to ensure continuous improvement. That's what As I went through this process, it was an opportunity truly to gain a deep understanding of the district's reality. To be bold enough to define what problems truly need to be solved and not to waste our time solving symptoms of the problem, but to get to the root cause, define what complex hard work needs to be done. We conducted school visits, did surveys, focus groups, data reviews, district events, connected with external stakeholders through community contact and different events, surveys, focus groups, again, more surveys, public discourse. We were able to collect over 10,000 data points. So the information isn't coming to you shorthanded. It isn't coming to you in a last-minute process, but a deep, thorough analysis of our current reality by listening to those who are in our community. 42 formalized school faculty meeting site visits. 46 formalized community contacts. 425 participants in our town hall meetings and the GYAC community meeting, 325 strategic plan surveys. I'm behind. 109 stakeholder subgroup surveys, 16 focus groups, which is 207 people participated, and then 2 comprehensive data reviews with principals, an opportunity to sit with them over 2 full days and discuss their data, which define their reality and the action steps moving forward. We looked at excellence in moving through this process. Why? Because the district mission is serving all students with excellence. The intent of this was to evaluate the strategic plan and define whether there need to be shifts, modifications, or changes, or an overhaul to that particular plan. So we wanted to look at what excellence was from the mouths, hearts, and souls of the people who do this work within the community, those that we serve and those that do the work. And you see to the left of the slide what we heard. If we were to be a school or a district of excellence, you would see diversity, equity, inclusiveness of all students, physical and psychological safety, positive, welcoming cultures and climates, staff, teamwork, collaboration, clear and consistent communication, student engagement, pride in school, positive narrative, employees feeling supported, valued, students expected to come to school. Some data points that aren't there should jump out at us. In defining excellence, I do not know of a school system that does not include student achievement as being part of what makes that school excellent or that district excellent. In looking at our current reality, we wanted to compare what was being spoken of versus what we thought when we defined what excellence was. So in looking at excellence and comparing it to our current reality, this was an opportunity through the multiple forms of collecting this data to define where we thought there were bright spots. The bright spots revealed, the ones mentioned the most, focus groups, opportunities for input, renewed sense of hope, excitement because of a new superintendent, recent increased communication and collaboration, collaborative planning, support progress, progress and support. This, in moving through the process and collecting data from the surveys, what we found the most in looking at our current reality. We kind of compare that back to the previous side in looking at excellence. If our strategic plan was on spot and our strategic plan was driving our work, there would be consistency between what we define as excellence and our current reality. And as you can see, those two data points or those two slides, there's some incongruency. It's not aligned as we would like it to be as a district. We then looked at what were the areas in need of improvement. This is not me defining needs of improvement. This is me reporting what was shared as we went through this listening and learning segment. Identify student achievement as a primary purpose of schooling. Ensure equitable and inclusive curricular and instructional practices. Cultivating school environments that are psychological and physically safe for our students and staff. Foster pride in the district and the schooling. Great deal of pride was found at school sites, but our ability to connect as a district to each of those schools is a significant opportunity to improve, to be a part of something that's bigger, to see the district as a system that supports principals and teachers in schools, connects them to great practices across the district, to function as a system of schools and not independent schools. Develop systems for clear and consistent communication. A lot of inconsistent systems or non-existent systems on how we communicate, how we set expectation, and how we are consistent with that messaging and support. Opportunities for us as a district to improve. Improve support services and discipline practices. Some of the largest feedback came around discipline and the inconsistency from school to school and our ability to provide students with meaningful instructional environments that were free of disruption and ensured that students were engaged in relevant, differentiated instruction. Now, looking back at the strategic plan, this pulls our attention back to the plan itself, looking at the plan itself and identifying opportunities to improve the strategic plan. Keeping in mind, this is an evaluation of the strategic plan. Understanding our current reality and using a tool to drive the continuous improvement efforts of a group of people. What pulls them together is the strategic plan. The strategic plan is the opportunity to connect us, unite us in purpose, connect us and unite us in the process, connect us and unite us in the systems on how we communicate, how we flow, work up and down, how we feedback and listen and communicate with one another to do this complex and difficult work. If a system or an organization's strategic plan is off or is separate from the work that's being done every day, you're not as solid or you're not moving as fast as you possibly could be. And that is some of the evidence that is being supported here as I listened and learned over the first 2 months serving as your superintendent. We need a strategic plan that identifies student achievement as a priority. Eliminate silos to create a unified vision and way of work for school improvement. Increase accountability for strategic plan implementation. Increase specificity of strategy so they are actionable. Ensure measures of success. Provide evidence of quality and effectiveness of strategies. Ensure goals and strategies support equity and inclusion. Identify and incorporate guiding principles. Increase alignment between the district and school improvement plans. So there are significant opportunities to explore the creation of a new strategic plan. A strategic plan that seeks the input, seeks the understanding of all members of the organization, and ensures that we are connected around our expectation. I think tonight we demonstrated what it looks like and what it feels like to have a clear expectation. We demonstrated how we should feel when we're doing the complex work of serving and educating children in this district. That feeling is just the beginning. Moving forward as a board, we are going to have the opportunity really to define our next strategic plan. In the coming slides, I'll talk through the work that we have to engage in, the structure of our strategic plan, the organization of our strategic plan, the work that we have to do, the feedback that I need from you as I go out and build a strategic plan for your approval. It will be hard work, it will be complex work, but it will be work that unites us for the next 5 years. It will be work that ensures that we're designed in a way that we're constantly evaluating our work. We're learning from our work, redefining the work that lies ahead of us in order to ensure that we're having the largest impact on kids as humanly possible. In problem solving, how to present this and how to have the highest impact to guide not only what I have learned, but the work that lies ahead for us as your superintendent and board, is framing questions, looking at things that we need to answer as we design our strategic plan. And I thought framing questions were powerful because at the end of the design of our strategic plan that I will bring for your approval, we'll be able to answer the questions. And if we didn't answer the questions, then I think we fell short and we need to go back and ensure that we have answers to all these questions. And as you know, because this is just a highlight of the presentation, this isn't all of the framing questions, but it ensures we understand the work that needs to be done and where we need to put our focus. So we need to answer some questions. How do we ensure that all students have access to teaching practices that are engaging, culturally responsive, and standards aligned? How do we ensure that all students are provided with rigorous, standards-aligned instruction that supports 21st century learning and learning environments? How do we create systems and platforms which support centralized, timely, consistent communication? Our teachers, our principals, our support staff are screaming for consistent communication. How do we cultivate conditions which create climates characterized by psychological safety for all students and staff members? Teachers willing and embraced to take a chance or to change a behavior or try something that hasn't been tried before. How do we ensure that existing systematic biases and inequities are eliminated? Complex work that we need to engage in. How do we ensure that all monies spent are aligned with equitable, evidence-based funding practices while leading to positive student outcomes? How do we create strong instructional leaders who can support the development of rigorous, engaging, standards-aligned lessons which meet diverse learning needs? How do we strategically modify support services to improve curricular and instructional practices for all students? Those are heavy questions. This is not easy work. This is just some of the findings that I presented to the board. For the community who is listening, I summarized the complete findings in what is 33 pages of a narrative that captures the totality of what we have learned. In all transparency, I am eager to begin the next phase. Oftentimes in the last 2 weeks, I found myself holding myself back, knowing that if I went further, I would be overstepping. I am looking forward to the slide that stands in front of you. In April, we will have our school board strategic planning session, which has already been scheduled. It will be a day-long activity for us, hoping to identify the structure of that plan, hoping to hear from you based on what we have learned as you review the totality of this document, what are our priorities? And then following through with district staff, following through once again with community, ensuring that our practice remains very, very public and we're open and honest and transparent as we move through this process. Circling back with district leaders, charging the cabinet to work with their leadership teams to ensure they all understand the important work that they do and how their work in their office connects to each other as well as to our strategic plan. Then bringing it back for a second strategic planning meeting, which once again I would suggest is an all-day process. So I can bring back what we have learned, put together and structured to hear your feedback once again. As the budget begins to reveal itself, we'll have opportunities, as you have requested, to ensure that our budget is aligned to our strategic plan and that all funding is defined as a priority within the strategic plan, not the other way around. Then in June, I will bring an item that brings the strategic plan to a beginning, to a starting point, not an end, to a starting point. Aligned in that same item will be the opportunity to shift and modify the structure of the organization. I will say publicly, as I said before, based on everything that I've learned, there are opportunities to eliminate redundancies, to eliminate services that are no longer valuable to student achievement. I want to bring a budget that says the majority of our money is in schools, connected and supporting teachers to do the complex work that they need to do. That we minimize the district budget and maximize school site budgets in order to ensure we are moving the district in the way that it needs to do. And that's hard, that's complicated work. Those are difficult decisions. But I assure you, it is the right work that we need to be doing. So with that, that is the findings. It was a hard, complex time. I have to thank Dr. Jacobs, who facilitated over and over and over again, always pushing, always trying to get every single piece of information that she possibly could to ensure that this conversation, this data, this set of data that has been collected really continues to drive the work that lies ahead. And I think we have put together a document that puts us on a solid foundation regarding the work that lies ahead. When this strategic plan is done and created, it will be a plan that ensures that we're continuously learning, shifting, and modifying our practices. In doing continuous improvement for the last 25 years, 7 years in a very large district, you have to have a strategic plan that aligns and defines the work. Our principals are frustrated and struggle because we haven't defined our priorities. We haven't established constant or consistent communication or even language on what we expect to see in terms of classrooms. This is going to be very, very powerful work. And seeing this work on both sides, meaning having recreated strategic plans before and then seeing the impact of that work 5 years later, I am 100% sure on this side of the process that lies ahead in the creation that the outcome will be even better. That's right, I said it. The outcome will be even better. So very, very excited to share this plan, very excited to engage in the work that I know many of you have been waiting to engage in. Hurry up, get through learning everything that you guys already know, so we can engage and go through the dialogue to create a strategic plan that drives and moves this work forward. With that, members of the school board, that is what we have learned for phase 2. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mrs. Horkmar? Yes, go ahead. I want to say thank you to Dr. Moore for his leadership and to all of the staff. I think what I've seen really, and you mentioned Christina, and I just want to say, you know, everybody has a job description. We all kind of, you know, have an idea of what our job is. But what I have seen continually is people stepping up and going above and beyond what is expected in a job description to do what we need to do to be best by kids. So I want to say thank you for empowering everyone in this community to be best by kids. If you have not had the opportunity to read this document, it has truly exceeded any expectation I had. I don't say that lightly. If people know me, my expectations are normally pretty high. So this is extremely impressive and thoughtful representation of the work that you've done so far. I think it's respectful of our leadership and of our teachers and our community. And if you have the time, this will be available on our website. Dr. Moore, if someone would like a copy of this, how can they get a copy?
Through the chair, once we present it to you, it will be on our webpage. I am also going next Tuesday and Thursday to both of the high schools to give a similar presentation to the community. I wanted to share it with you first, but as I continue to ensure my practice is public, want to go out. As I have listened for the last 2 months, I think it is just the right thing to do is to go back out to the people who have shared information and present the findings to them and let them know the work that we're about to engage in the process that we'll be moving forward over the next 2 months to design our strategic plan.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Moore, as usual, but I see something bigger. I see, apart from the success of our school district and improvements in areas that we are identifying, that aside, I see the work that you have put forth within this 90-day period, from the day of interview even up until now, and all of the hard work that has gone into all of the community forums and the meetings and collecting the data, and of course ending up with this document. What I see is a book, and I say that, you know, seriously, sincerely. I see a book being able to help other leaders within the 90 days to connect the pieces, to study the data and the information that's in their district, to then create a strategic plan to help other school districts. But I say that with a caveat because you're not allowed to leave.
Absolutely
Just
not.
started here, you're here for the long run, but I say that as a compliment to the work that you have put in and your staff, your leadership staff has put in to putting this together in narrative form. That is not easy to do with content and page, and it's not an easy task. And you do it so easily from the outside looking in. We're just receiving the information. Of course, we have personal, professional, rather, meetings with you weekly, so we get what you're doing one-on-one, but the public doesn't see that until you present. And this is the presentation publicly. So I want to thank you for that, and this re-envisioning project is really, it's incredible. I have to say, outstanding is the word that comes to mind. So I am excited that when we get to the part of doing the strategic plan and moving forward, that we're not going to be in a place where we say, I don't have the data. I don't know how I'm going to make this decision because I'm not fully informed. There is no way that we can say, as a school board, we are not fully informed at this time nor then. So I'm excited for that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Shu? So I'm not going to, I agree with everything my fellow board members have said, but I'll cease accolades here. But what I am curious about is, I haven't kept track of the days. So this report is phase 2, right? This is the
Correct.
end of phase 2. Can you speak just for a minute, because I haven't kept track of this, the degree, the plan is, as you envisioned phases 1, 2, and 3 going, where we are consistent with on that, are we ahead of schedule, are we on schedule, and what did you find that you expected, and what did you find that surprised you, if you can answer that? I know that's putting you on the spot.
No, not a problem. Through the chair, in my own reflection, I think I could have finished phase 2 probably 7-8 days earlier. And I say that because I've been eager to get to this meeting. Even 2 weeks ago when we had our last meeting, I was ready to present this document. It wasn't completely done, but the findings were there. So not that I'll have to go through this again, but it was an opportunity. Okay, I'm ready to move to the next step. Found myself learning and listening and presenting over and over and over, which was meaningful. But wanting to be about the work was a little struggling as we concluded phase 2. So we are on time right now. We will finish phase 3. This is, looking forward. I said during the initial process that we would be done during the end of May. I actually, in this presentation, pushed that presentation to June just to get through graduations, to get through the school year. Wanted to make sure everything was done. We'll be further along in the budget process as well. So we'll end it probably a board meeting later than I anticipated. What I learned really is encouraging to me, as I have said, as I've moved through the cultures in schools is probably like something I've never seen before. And I've had the opportunities in moving through the interview process to watch board meetings, to be part of the district in the initial phase. But at school sites, almost to a school, there is a level of warmth and acceptance and nurturing around that body of adults. But not a system that connects them, feeds them, and grows them, or empowers them. So as I go through it, and this sounds bad, I'm like, man, this is gonna be easy. And I say that because if you empower them, you feed them, you don't set an expectation, you define a collective expectation, and you design a culture, an environment where we know that we're working to support one another to uphold that expectation. Great things will happen. So that wasn't something that I anticipated walking in. Still working to build relationships. When I say still working to build relationships, I come from a place where I was there for 25 years. And what was easy for me in Miami based on the relationships and reputation and outcome, still working to establish here. So in some cases, to be completely transparent, I feel like I've gone backwards. Because when I say I'm going to do something, I'm used to people knowing it's going to be done. I'm used to people knowing if I said this is an expected outcome and it doesn't get done, not going to happen. Or people trusting me. I understand that it takes time, and I respect that. And I'm looking forward to establishing those relationships. Maybe that's more personal than anything else. I just want to push or move through that, but acknowledge that it takes time. So it's not a negative statement on anyone else's, opinion. We need to grow those relationships, and I'm looking forward to accelerating the growth of those relationships so we can move at the speed that we need to be moving.
Thank you. I want to just follow up and say, I too was surprised, as came out in the report, that student achievement was not mentioned as an outcome of excellence. That also really stood out to me, among other things in here. So I'm looking forward to how we build some of those things from this report into the strategic plan in ways that honor what we're doing well and accelerate opportunities to strengthen our work.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Mrs. Barrenborn.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank you for your dissertation and your defense of it.
Second one.
Dissertation.
Having written one of
I
those.
can't wait for the strategic plan, I
Oh.
couldn't believe how much reading there was to do, but it was really good reading, because I can tell how much work, not just you did, but all of you did, and it's evident. So it's nice to see that. 10,000 data points in 90 days, wow. I'm impressed by that. Including surveys, recent surveys, I think was really great. I didn't expect that, and I thought that was a great touch to do. Town halls, of course, getting feedback, subgroups, including kids, thank you. And I know we've included kids in groups like that before, but I specifically dug into the questions that were asked and things like that. And it was nice to see that they were listened to and reported on. And your framing questions. And I know how important framing questions are, so thank you for doing that. And it was stimulating.
Stimulating.
Love that word.
Stimulating. It's too late for that, Terry.
Waking you up.
All right, is that it? All right. I do have a question, and I'll probably jump into that when we get to our strategic planning. Because we have been through so many transitions over the last couple of years, and the culture and climate has been one of the key points that needs to be addressed. How are we going to ensure that staff and leadership have the buy-in to this? And also, how are you, and I heard you say time, with time they'll trust you, but we're getting to the work now, so how are you creating that trust now with the leadership?
Through the chair, you asked a couple different questions there.
I know.
One of which is to involve them in the work. So if you look at the current strategic plan, which was outsourced, and you look at who they spoke to and where they collected their information from, outside of district staff, it was in my PowerPoint, but I chose not to present it. I think it was just 224 points or other individuals outside of district staff were spoken to. So to say that was the district's strategic plan or the school system's strategic plan, it was no one's strategic plan. It was something that was designed, put together, sounded nice, but it didn't drive the work. If you want schools to be successful, empower them to do the work. Support them to do the work. Set an expectation of how you are going to support them. Align the district's strategic plan to the school improvement initiatives. Walk into schools not just to visit, but to evaluate and support principals on the progress that they're having towards their identified strategies with their in-school improvement process. Problem solve with them. Having walked the walk, having people who really understand what instructional leadership is, the complexity of what it means to lead hundreds of people. Work with them to grow them as leaders. Inspire them to create and design environments that ensure that they will be successful for their children. This work isn't done in isolation. This work is opportunities for us to define our priorities, define the systems that we will use to communicate and connect to one another to support student achievement, to support that every person in this organization understands how they support children in this district. So a short, direct answer to your question is to empower them to do the work. Support them in doing the work. Not to sit on high and say, here's your strategic plan, and hey, get this done, but to say, I know how complex this work is. I know what it is to work under an unwavering, unmoving expectation. I know it firsthand for 25 years, the last 11 years like no one has ever known. But I've also felt the support that I received to uphold that expectation. And the outcomes that I'm tired of talking about, the success that district has had was the result of an expectation and supporting an expectation, and collectively as a whole, all of us believing in the work that we were doing around that expectation. That's what we will create here. This will be everyone's plan. This will be everyone's passion. This will be everyone's joy in heart. To be a principal, I've said it, not because principals are here tonight, it is the best job you can ever have. And I say that as a son of a man who was a principal of the same school for 21 years. I say that as a guy who was a principal for 7 years in 3 different schools. You have the opportunity to have more influence than I have on the lives of the children that you serve. You see them every single day, and that is such a position to be stand in reverence of, to say, how can I support and hold my teachers accountable and uplift them to ensure we are moving the needle for them. So to have the opportunity to support that expectation, define that expectation, is the work that we will do in the development of our strategic plan.
So the second part of that question was, in such a short amount of time, how are you going to gain the trust that you know what you're talking about from your leadership?
Let's walk.
Yeah, walk the walk. I mean,
Let's walk. I have no issues walking in any classroom, standing outside of that classroom and saying, this is the alignment of that instruction in comparison to the standards. This was the forward thinking that was done to differentiate instruction. Let me coach you on the support that was provided leading into that classroom. So it's not that I'm saying I've done the work. Yeah, I've done the work. I spent the last 7 years coaching principals, coaching cabinet members on how to be the absolute best leaders they can be. So it's to do the work. It is to do the work.
Okay. Okay.
There's your answer.
Okay, that's one of the questions I keep getting. So, I think is that it for the superintendent's report?
Through the chair, yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, we are going to move on to school board member matters. We're almost finished. We're going to start with Mrs. Barrenborg.
Okay, thank you. Couple things. I attended the Indian River County Planning and Zoning meeting on February 27th. We have many more houses projected to go up in our community in the next few years. Get ready, principals. It's unbelievable how many houses are being projected. So I know hopefully we're on top of that. Kind of scary when I'm sitting in those meetings. All right. On the 2nd of March, Dr. Seuss's birthday, Read Across America Day was wonderful. Thank you to Dodgertown. Where are you, Aretha? I thought I saw her. She's gone. Okay. I had a great experience at Dodgertown reading to the pre-K kids. They were awesome. And I'd like to say thank you to Oslo and Vero Beach High School for allowing me to come in and talk to your CTE people about their programs, and I learned. I just went there to learn, and I appreciate that. I look forward to going to Storm Grove and to Sebastian River Middle and to Sebastian River High School to learn about your CTE programs too, because I feel like those are coming up for. There's a lot of changes that are happening up in Tallahassee if you haven't been paying attention, and so I think that's something that's going to come before us a lot. So I want to make sure I'm well versed in what we've got here. So I appreciate your time. And I attended also on March 4th the Treasure Coast Council of Local Governments meeting, and we discussed, of course, coronavirus precautions, which is changing every day. We discussed monitoring bills, which those are changing hourly, and workforce housing was a big topic that came up, as well as CTE changes. That came up as well, and so it's kind of interesting that we're all talking about that on the Treasure Coast. I also got to attend the Hear My Voice presentation at Gifford Middle yesterday, and I know we had that at all 4 of our middle schools. It was outstanding. It was great to watch the kids, a little murmuring at the beginning, but then once it got going, you could hear a pin drop in that room. It was awesome. Thank you to Community One Initiative for sponsoring that. I went also to last night to the Richardson Center to listen to Living Voices about women's suffrage. That was wonderful. They're going to do it again. I really learned a lot. So if you enjoyed the day performance, that one was same girl. It was wonderful. And she's doing it again on Monday, March 30th at St. Sebastian Catholic Church at 9:15, but also at night, 7 o'clock at night, and Riverside Church at Roseland Road. So I just wanted to say that because it was outstanding. Thank you to all of you that stayed through the entire meeting. We're used to about 6 people at the end of this. That back row usually is here. So you go, team. So thank you. I think, as a principal, when I was a principal, I had to go to all the meetings. And I had to sit through all the meetings. And the first couple I went to was painful. But I will say this. Once I got going to it, it was really informative for me. Because when I went back to my school, I was so much more versed in kind of how the process works. And now as a board member, learning the process on this side, wow, what a game changer. So I think it was really good for me to attend those. So thank you.
Is that it? Mm-hmm. Mrs. Rosario, thank you. Thank you for that.
Thank you. Last week, I attended the Equity Committee meeting, and it was really, it was just a wonderfully run meeting. We're worlds from where we were. I want to thank Mrs. Marshawn Green for leading. I don't know if she's still here. She left for being the chairwoman of the committee, and all of the committee members. We thank them often, but they really came out and they really worked hard. And Dr. Moore and leadership team was also present at the committee meeting, which makes a big difference because when they had questions, we had staff there able to answer questions for them. In the past, when they had questions, as you know, they had to wait, come back, wait for their answer, then they had to wait to meet again. I mean, at least now everybody was present, so it was really, we can see now the work is getting done. I want to thank Mrs. Nancy Atwater for volunteering to provide wonderful baked goods for the Equity Committee members, which was really, really sweet. And she also brought some for today's workshop. So I want to thank her for that, because that was definitely delicious. Sweet of her to do. I wanted to give a shout out to Little Birthday Angels. If you're not familiar with their organization, they are in Indian River County, and they are seeking donations for water bottles. It's water bottles, right? They're seeking water bottles. Not these, the actual thermos water bottles. So if you know of anyone, if you'd like to donate to them, they are an organization that celebrates homeless children one birthday at a time. And this is in March. I'm just going to read. In March, we are collecting new reusable water bottles for the homeless children in our community. You can help by donating these items. And of course, you can go to littlebirthday.angels.org for more information on how you can donate. So I definitely wanted to give a shout out for them, because they deserve some support. They're doing some great work there. And that's it.
I don't have a lot. I do want to acknowledge, thank you to the principals who made amazing presentations tonight. Thank you for the inspiration. We sit up here and we don't often, as much as you do, get to hear, see, and experience the day-to-day work that you do. So while this was not that, thank you for bringing your enthusiasm and your humor and your energy. It lights us up, really. Well, I can speak for myself. It lights me up to see you do that. It encourages me, and it makes me really proud of this district and every single one of you and the work you're doing. So thank you for doing that. And thank you, as has been mentioned, for sticking it out. Principals and assistant principals, I don't get to see you all that often, and it just warms my heart. So thank you. I'm glad you're here. Went to the ESC meeting. The ESC advisor, I don't know what it's called, the ESC Advisory Task Force, or whatever its actual name is. What is that called now?
Superintendent's ESC Advisory.
Okay, I was close.
I don't know if I said it right either, but that's
Yeah,
what
okay,
it
well,
is.
that meeting. Got to see that. Why am I blanking on your name right now?
Dr. Jacobs.
Dr. Jacobs, I'm sorry. It's aging brain dump out of the back. Thank you for your running those meetings, bringing people together. That was, I think, one of the most well-attended of those meetings, and it's really nice to see both community members and parents coming together, but actually feeling supported by this district in ways that also hasn't happened in the past, and to have people walk out of that meeting feeling like they're actually being heard. Huge difference, again, as we move forward. So that was really nice to see and experience. I didn't get to go to the equity meeting, but I've been watching it online. Again, as Mrs. Rosario said, big props to that group. And again, noticing how we're starting to come together with the community in ways that previously have been so adversarial and contentious. And what I'm now seeing more of is support for the district, support for collaboration in areas that have historically been opportunities for, I don't know what the word I want is. We have not worked so well together. It has always been presumed that it's an us and them. And what I'm starting to see, I am cautiously optimistic about ways that we're coming together with the unions, about ways that we're coming together on equity, ways that we're coming together in ESE. The challenges that we have had in the past, we're kind of taking head on. And while we're not there yet, we are at least demonstrating intent and commitment to those issues. So I'm really proud of the work that's being done for that. And that's it for now.
Thank you, Justice. Thank you, Mrs. Work. So tonight on our consent agenda, if you had looked at personnel recommendations, we approved a number of substitute bus drivers to our staff. And I want to say thank you. More often than I would like, as a parent, all 4 kids ride the bus, I get a phone call around 2:20. and this is not a surprise to anyone in this room, so from 772-978-8801, like clockwork. Other parents, if your kids ride the bus, you get the message, you know what I'm talking about. And we recognize that sometimes our buses, due to some different extenuating circumstances we can't always immediately control, run late at the end of the day. I want to apologize on behalf of the district to parents, because I recognize that we can do everything really well all day long, but if we're not delivering your students home, which we're required to do in a timely and efficient manner, then we're not doing our jobs properly. And I know that it affects families in ways that we don't see. So I just wanted to tell you that staff has been extremely responsive. As a parent, it's been interesting to have this perspective. I've shared it, and everyone is working together to try to problem solve. So thank you to Dr. Moore and the leadership team for addressing maybe some needed substitute bus drivers. I've tried not to get into the weeds with any of the issues or problems. I recognize that's not my job, but it is interesting to have this perspective, and I hope that we're able to continue to work to create better systems. I want to give my fellow board member, Mara Schiff, a little shout out. You did a really nice job with Cleo Edison Oliver and The Playground Millionaire. I watched it.
That I did that.
I didn't. I watched it, and I thought it was awesome. I encourage all board members, is there another book? Because that book is over. So I hope that the board members will hear more about the next community book that Pelican Island Elementary will be reading. And it's a great book. I love really relevant new fiction for our students where they can identify with the characters in the book. It was an excellent selection, and I'm excited to read the next one with the kids. So thank you for that. And that is all I have tonight, a productive day. Thank you, Mrs. Sork.
Thank you. I want to remind board members that we have the graduation sign-up sheet in the board office, so please take a look at that and sign up for the various graduations throughout the district, so we can all, at least one of us, try to make it. Another item I wanted to talk about, Mrs. Rosario. I reached out to the Birthday Angels because they do such a spectacular job, and I've known the organization from when it was very small, and now it's grown to hundreds and hundreds of our students that they do serve. So I wanted to show you the basket real quick. Hold on.
I didn't know we were supposed to bring props for the board member. I feel like I'm going to step up my game here.
So there are 17 baskets like this throughout the county. And like Mrs. Rosario said, this month they are collecting the water bottles. But every month they try to change it up. And they go into the homeless shelters. And if the students do not live in the homeless shelters, they try to coordinate it with the schools to provide these students with a gift and other items for their birthday. So we will have this basket here at the board office. If anyone is watching this and would like to drop off a donation, you can go to littlebirthdayangels.org for that. We have spectacular community partners that are doing great work throughout the district. I was able to attend the Gifford Youth Orchestra, one of the fundraisers, and they are doing fabulous work now in our schools, school district for over 17 years with our students with the fine arts. So I appreciate that group. Also, want to say thank you to Deputy Snowhill. He did a fabulous job over at Vero Beach High School the other night whenever they had the MPAs for all the Treasure Coast bands that came out to perform and get rated and graded. Deputy Snowhill was there. I know I left probably around 11 and you were still there. So I just want to thank you for your service to our community and keeping our kids safe. So thank you for that. So great job to our principals, because as a school board member, that's something that gets brought to our attention is what about the after-school activities? And that was a prime example that we do have our deputies there for various events like that, so thank you. That is all I have tonight. I just want to say thank you, great work, and look forward to coming out to the what is it, the
Generational Center this Saturday, yep.
Yes, Saturday. So, Superintendent, closing?
No, I think a very productive meeting. Hold on, Pam is yelling at me.
All right.
She's forgotten something. She's nodding her head yes. It's a lot to keep track of.
Just tell him, Pam.
Wonderful team. I have nothing else. Thank you.
Okay. All right, with that, we're going to adjourn at 8:26. Thank you, everyone. Have a great night.